My grandfather stripped my mother naked, crushed 1,000 butterflies into mud on her body, hoping that she would give birth to a fair skin and marry into a noble family. After 49 days, my mother's body really exuded a charming fragrance. She was indeed favored by a nobleman. But on the day before her wedding, my mother went to the river to wash and dress up, but was taken a fancy by the wandering dragon. Before she could react, she was forcibly taken back to the dragon palace. You bastard! Let me go! But the Dragon King ignored her and forcibly possessed her. Unexpectedly, in less than half a month, my mother's belly bulged. The Dragon King was overjoyed when he learned it, and immediately held a banquet in the Dragon Palace. My mother secretly rejoiced that she was pregnant with a dragon, and she would enjoy the honor from then on. But the next second, a cold voice of the Dragon King came. When the dragon is born, I will devour this boy, borrowing his true dragon bloodline to help me gain another 100 years of practice. My mother was determined to keep me safe. On the day of giving birth, she used her last strength and escaped from the Yellow River Dragon Palace. I happened to meet a green snake, a wounded green snake. My mother tremblingly entrusted me to her and begged weakly, "Please protect my son. He is a dragon, with the blood of a real dragon, and he will repay your kindness in the future." Before she finished speaking, my mother was exhausted and was swept away by the rushing Yellow River and disappeared. But the next moment, the scarred green snake stuck out its tongue and turned into a graceful woman in green and held me firmly in her arms. Well, my name is Wan Ning, and she would be my master from now on. That night, we announced to the world that I was a dragon. People believed that the dragon flora was a success. Not long after the news spread, the suitors came like wolves smelling meat, blocking the door in the heavy rain. Some rich merchants held gold bars, and officials holding land deeds. My master just held me, and set a hard rule. Only the phoenix-born girl on the Fengir, month and day, could marry him. Use dragon's energy to change fate. Some question the authenticity of the dragon's son. Why? How do we know if the dragon egg is real or not? Master didn't defend himself, just patted me gently. I cried out, and the cry formed an invisible protective shield. The rainstorm stopped 3 feet around me, as if hitting an invisible wall, and instantly scattered in all directions. The crowd was shocked, and knelt down, and kept praying for protection, hoping their daughters would be chosen. The master went through layers of screaming, and finally left 18-year-old Fengir girls. Then the master gently cut my fingertip, and let the girls make a contract with him, ordering them to protect me tonight. Sure enough, that night, thunder rumbled, and a once-in-a-century rainstorm poured down. The Yellow River water was like a raging, hit the embankment again and again, shaking the earth slightly. The wind was mixed with a terrifying dragon roar. It was the Dragon King who followed the faint dragon energy. Fortunately, there were 18 Phoenix girls Phoenix Key to protect me. I slept safely until dawn. The next morning, the master invited all the girls away, and solemnly warned their families. From now on, these children will become leaders in their fields, and your families will also prosper. But this good luck will only last for 18 years. After 18 years, one of you must marry my apprentice. If you disobey, your luck will be gone, and disaster will come. The fact proved that what the master said was true. These 18 girls who made the contract, the one with the fastest luck, just picked up a lottery ticket on the way home from school, and won 500 million yuan. The originally ordinary working family, overnight became top rich people. The one with the latest luck also received a notice of demolition in his hometown. The demolition compensation was in the tens of millions. All 18 families became rich overnight, and became famous, but the master didn't show any joy, until my 8th birthday. The originally calm sky was suddenly covered by dark clouds. The wind chimes hanging in the courtyard were shaking wildly. "Shoo bai, come here." Seeing this, the master's face changed drastically, with an urgency that he had never had before. "At midnight tonight, you will be 8 years old. The real dragon bloodline begins to awaken. The dragon's energy can't be hidden anymore. In these 8 years, I used my cultivation as a guide to maintain the balance of phoenix and dragon energy. Now I can't hold on anymore. I must immediately retreat into seclusion. In the future, I can't protect you anymore. You can only rely on yourself. In the next 10 years, you need to go to the address. Go to a Phoenix girl's house every year, and live with them day and night. The breath of the connected fates can confuse the perception of the Dragon King, so that he can't find your exact location. This sunglasses can not only hide your identity, but also a seal pupil thing refined from my essence. It can tightly restrain the anomaly in your eyes. You must pretend to be blind, and never let anyone, especially the 18 households, see the anomaly in your eyes. Once the dragon's aura leaks out, the Dragon King will come immediately. No one can protect you. As soon as she finished speaking, her figure gradually became transparent, and finally turned into a wisp of smoke, and dissipated in the wind. The next day, I put on sunglasses. I took 10 wooden signs with the address of the Phoenix girl, wooden sign tightly in my palm, and walked out of the house alone. I randomly picked a wooden sign, and followed the address, and finally arrived in the city. When I was near the house, I deliberately slowed down my pace, pretending to be a blind child asking for directions. I moved to the gate of the yard. I gently rang the doorbell. It was the girl's mother who opened the door. I quickly took out the token of the blood contract. I begged her to let me stay for a year. At first, the girl's family, seeing the token and the dragon's aura, they were polite to me, but as time went by, they saw that I was alone, and learned that my master had long since disappeared. Their attitude towards me became colder day by day, with disgust and contempt in their eyes. The most unforgettable was when I was 12. I lived in the home of the 6th Phoenix girl by Ningbing. She was a 14-year-old girl, very beautiful, with a pair of peach blossom eyes, with a noble arrogance of a rich lady. Since I stepped into her house, she never looked at me directly. She treated me as an eyesore. She commanded me, as if I were a lowly dog. She wouldn't let me touch anything of hers. She refused to sleep in the same room with me. She forced me to kneel and wash her feet and massage her. Once I was a little slow. She was furious, and she pressed my head hard into the basin, and forced me to drink her foot wash. I resisted with all my might. She kicked over the foot basin, and poured the stinky, dirty water on my head, drenching me completely. On the day I lived for a year and left. As soon as I stepped out the door, he set off fireworks behind my back. The dazzling and noisy fireworks, like countless ice-tipped needles, pierced my heart deeply. At that moment, I was angry and resentful, and full of grievances. And these days of living under others' roofs have passed in a flash, but I never wasted myself in these years. I not only mastered all the skills passed down by my master, but also awakened the sleeping dragon bloodline. But my master repeatedly warned me, I must not reveal any of my strength. Otherwise, the Dragon King wanted to swallow my dragon bait would definitely come to find me. I clearly have amazing skills. I have to pretend to be a blind person who is bullied. This grievance and forbearance tortured me for 10 years. When I finally reached 18 and lived in the last Su Yunian's house, 18 years of luck had already made the Su family the real estate giant. And Su Yunian herself is a popular teenage idol in the entertainment industry. She is loved by thousands of people, but she didn't treat me as a human being. In search of excitement, she directly brought her rich fan home, and she made out with him without any scruples. Hey, the blind man is still sitting there. Never mind him. He's just a piece of wood and can't see. What are you afraid of? And filthy words and pungent breath filled the entire room. This is in front of me, putting a green hat on me. But I couldn't move and expose myself in any way. Those 3 short seconds became the most tormented time in my life. Finally, the 1-year deadline was up. This is the last year for 18 Phoenix girls to protect me. If I want to live before midnight tonight, I must choose one of them to get married, divorced, and abandoned. I'm playing the role of a dragon again. I silently returned to my old house. The yard was overgrown with weeds, and the wind chimes were rusty. But in the main hall, the red groom's suit was neatly placed on the bed, which was prepared by my master. I put on the wedding dress and sat in the chair. I waited from day to night. None of the 18 Phoenix girls came to fulfill the contract. Suddenly, a familiar voice sounded outside the door. My little Shubai has grown up. You look handsome in the groom's suit. I turned around in surprise and saw the master walking in slowly from outside. He was still so young and amazing, but his face was almost transparent, and his figure was a little illusory. Master, why did you come back? I'm worried about you. So I came back to see. He smiled and reached out to straighten my collar. I knew he broke out of retreat for me. He risked his life for me. Master, they won't come. Who said that? Master will call them right away. What they? No one is willing to marry me. If they are smart, they should kneel, begging to marry you, to repay the great favor of Fate owed in the past. If no one is willing, then you have to get the dragon blood back by yourself. Don't disgrace me. I don't understand the deep meaning of Master's words. I just felt my face burning. Master looked at me, with the pain in his eyes almost overflowing. He was silent for a long time, and suddenly stuffed a sachet into my hand. I was about to open it. My hand was held by Master. This sachet is just in case. If no one is willing to marry you, opening it might save your life. But don't open it unless you have to. I'm afraid you can't bear it. Before I could ask more, he turned around and floated into the air. He pinched his fingers. 18 origami grains flew out of his sleeves and scattered in all directions. And even his figure turned into a streamer and disappeared. I held the sachet, sitting nervously in the main hall, listening to the approaching engine sound outside the door. 18 top luxury cars lined up like beasts, stopped in front of my dilapidated courtyard. The doors opened one after another. 18 graceful women walked down. Sure enough, luck nourishes people. They all had graceful figures and beautiful faces. But strangely, each of them carried a black plastic bag, which were bulging. I don't know what's inside. Kushixia wears a wine-red fishtail dress, looking very classy. I remember her. When I was a child, she tricked me into the fast lane. If I hadn't reacted quickly, I would have been run over by a truck. Bai Ningbing wears a black leather jacket with a white short crop top underneath and a black leather skirt with a smile on her lips, as if she was here to watch a play. But I will never forget the days when she forced making me wash and massage her feet. Su Yunian wore a Blueport-style dress, noble and dignified, with a fairy air, but she cheated on me in front of me. I would never choose such a woman. Yukiux wears a beige one-shoulder fishtail dress. Exquisite and charming, although she disliked me, but she never did anything substantial to hurt me. Her face also looks like a typical lucky face. Otherwise, I could choose her, while I was choosing one-sidedly. Yukiux joked. Zu, your legs are really long. Why don't you marry Cheng Shubai? It can be a crutch for our dragon. Shixia sneered and glanced at Zhang meaningfully. Your eyes are very beautiful. I think they're perfect for guiding the blind. A sense of humiliation overwhelmed me. These Phoenix girls are all beautiful, but their minds are so vicious. But Bai Ningbing suddenly interrupted them angrily. Enough, have you lost your conscience? Because of his dragon blood, we have achieved what we have today. How could you say that about him? Besides, we have been engaged to him since childhood. It's his right to choose one of us to marry. Is also his right. I was stunned. Did I misjudge her? The young lady who enjoys humiliating me is actually a softie with a sharp tongue? Zhu Shixia retorted with disdain. We have each protected him for a year. Without us, he would have died long ago. The debt owed before should have been paid off. Zhu Yunian agreed. I'll marry you. Don't count us in. Bai Ningbing blurted out. I'll marry you. She came to knock on the main hall's door with a sweet voice. Shu Bai, are you there? To marry you. I pretended to just hear. I groped to open the door and staggered out to pretend to be a blind person. I even stumbled on the threshold on purpose and fell to the ground in a mess. There was laughter in the yard. Bai Ningbing supported me with a gentle tone. Bai Bingbing, are you okay? Are you hurt? My heart warmed. Maybe I can really marry a good wife, although we have had so many unpleasant things in the past. If she is not a bad person and is willing to marry me, I will definitely try to fall in love with her. I smiled and looked up, but unexpectedly saw through the sunglasses the extremely bad smile on her face. She said in a gentle voice, Shubai, I'm willing to marry you, while putting on gloves, and took out from the small box behind her a dead toad covered in pustules, and brought it to my face. Shubai, kiss me, and we'll be done. My brain buzzed. The voices in the courtyard stopped, and it was silent. I looked around. The Phoenix girls all looked on with amusement. But no one reminded me. I looked at Yukiux. She just silently retreated to the back of the crowd, watching coldly. I pretended not to notice anything. I stretched my neck and slowly approached. Bai Ningbing even held her breath, holding the toad expectantly towards my mouth. Just as my lips were about to touch the toad, my fingertips quietly, sending out a pure yang dragon energy, and shot into the toad's body. The dead toad came back to life instantly. It opened its mouth and let out a strange cry, turned around and struggled, and jumped towards Bai Ningbing's face. Bai Ningbing screamed and dodged. The toad fell to the ground, and jumped into the grass. I pretended to panic. What's that sound? Ningbing, why do I hear the cry of a toad? Bai Ningbing was still frightened. It's just a mouse. This yard hasn't been lived in for a long time, so there are mice. I grabbed her wrist and smiled. It's okay. Let's continue the wedding ceremony without the toad. Bai Ningbing panicked. She struggled wildly and spoke rudely. Let me go. You blind bastard. You stinky beggar. Who wants to marry you? Let go of me, you bastard. I was angry. 18 years of pent-up anger almost overwhelmed her reason at this moment. The dragon pressure was released uncontrollably. Bai Ningbing's face turned pale, and she couldn't move at all. Suddenly, the sky was covered with dark clouds, with a dragon shape moving in the clouds. A thunderclap sounded. I instantly woke up. Damn it. In a hurry just now, the trace of dragon energy that leaked from my fingertips was sensed by the Dragon King. I immediately withdrew the pressure and released Bai Ningbing's hand, but she thought I was scared by the thunder. Her arrogance immediately returned. She slapped me with her hand, and her nails scratched 3 blood marks on my face. A blind man. You don't even look in the mirror and see if you deserve it. I just said I would marry you, just to tease you. You really took it seriously. I suppressed my anger. I said in a deep voice that just now in front of everyone, that you would marry me. Bai Ningbing sneered and took 2 steps back. You want me to marry you? Okay, you heard me. Kneel down and kowtow to me. I'll consider it. Hearing her words, all the crazy women, they instantly became excited. Just kneel down and apologize. Do you think you are something? And still want to pick and choose? I took a deep breath and suppressed the surging hostility. You break the contract. Aren't you afraid of losing your luck and disaster? Zhu Shixia sneered. A drop of blood wants to bind us for a lifetime. We are all families with over 100 million assets. Even if we return the dragon blood to you, our families will not decline. Hearing this, Bai Ningbing, as if suddenly remembered something, she smiled and picked up a black plastic bag from the ground and threw it towards my face. You just want the dragon blood, right? Here you are. The bag wasn't tied tightly. It rolled twice on the ground and scattered. I subconsciously looked down. Inside was a cotton pad with bloodstains. My hands were shaking. I couldn't suppress my anger. Meanwhile, a crackling sound rang out. The Phoenix girls threw black plastic bags at me. The cotton pad stained with blood fell all over the place. They were still laughing wildly, and laughed so hard that they fell backward. He's blind, can't see. Pick it up and throw it in his face. Ha ha ha. Longsy is just a blind man who picks up garbage. I gave them precious dragon blood back then, which could make them prosperous. Now they use this filthy to repay my dragon blood. This humiliation is more piercing than all the humiliation combined. They looked down on me, who was embarrassed, with a sneer of mockery on their lips, trampling on my dignity wantonly. But what they don't know is that, through the gap of my sunglasses, I had already seen each of their faces. Each of them has a dark forehead, with deathly aura, and their lives were short. Look at your foreheads, with black energy rising, and plagued by disasters. And you are still complacent here. Do you really think that the karma you owe can be easily bought off? Suddenly, a violent wind rose, and the sky was gloomy. A more terrifying pressure than before, like a mountain range, fell from the sky. I felt a sinking sensation. My bones were creaking under the pressure. Every inch of my muscle was tense. Blood and ki surged. I'm too familiar with this breath. Here it comes. The yellow-red dragon has finally smelled the dragon's aura. Tonight, no one can leave alive tonight.